Yo.
Yo, Ian, it has been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. It's
Yes,
been a
sir.
minute, bro. Fuck, man. It was a good little vacay, though.
Exactly. Little vacation. So, first
You
off,
know,
go ahead.
like European people call vacay holidays.
Yes, I do know that. I actually was watching a stand-up special by Trevor Noah, and he was talking about how the TSA handles foreigners in the airport, and they get confused when they say they're on holiday instead of vacation.
Yeah, I know. We have an Australian guy in the gym, and he just like, dude, come out there for a holiday. I'm like, well, holidays I usually spend time with family, but he's like, no, 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 no. Like when you take time off, come out there for a holiday. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I see you. I get it now.
Right? Everything's different everywhere you go. That's for sure.
Everywhere is different. Everywhere is different.
So, first off, I want to thank our loyal fan base. I know it's small right now, but thank you guys for tuning in, listening to our podcast. Please comment, give us some feedback about what you like, what you don't like. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your coworkers, share it with the guy you don't like. Just trying to get the information there out there about MMA. If there's a guy you don't like, you call Ian. He'll give you, a private session for a reasonable price, and you'll be good to go. You
Yep,
know, so you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours, people.
for
But
sure.
we got stuff to talk about, man, because
The
UFC
biggest card of the
211
year so far.
did not disappoint. Did not
No.
disappoint. And the only thing that disappointed was David Branch's return, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
Unfortunately.
did not go over well. I
So,
mean, in sense, it did go over well because he won,
right.
but the performance overall was lackluster.
Safe. Safe.
Extremely,
That's exactly what he
extremely.
wanted to just get that win under his belt. And he wasn't the same guy that won 2 titles in World Series of Fighting. But
No.
I think he just wanted to get a win under his belt. I don't think we see
Yeah,
that same David Branch in his next fight.
almost went to, I almost went to sleep in that fight.
Yeah, I fell asleep a
It
little
was
bit.
not entertaining at all.
Right, right. It was grappling based, and Jotko just couldn't handle the grappling. And for some
Yeah,
reason, he didn't throw hands. I was very surprised by it. He didn't really try to put pressure on David Branch. He was backing up the whole fight, and it's what allowed David Branch to shoot for those power doubles and get the takedowns and control the fight pretty much.
yeah. It didn't even barely like. I think he barely even shot. Most of that whole fight took place against the fence.
Exactly, yeah. He got a couple takedowns, though, and that's because Jotko kept backing up.
Yeah,
He kept
yeah.
backing up. But let's back it up for a second ourselves because I want to talk about something that, of course, it happened again. It happened again. The illegal knee situation, Dustin Poirier versus Eddie Alvarez. And I'm sorry, but Eddie, that was some bullshit. In
And
in the heat of the
and
moment, he hit him with
I
three
lost a
illegal
little
knees.
respect. Yeah, I lost a little
Three.
respect for him. And not to blame Eddie though, because Eddie did do it. That's Herb Dean's fault, dude. That should have been a win for Dustin Poirier.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, I 100% believe Dustin Poirier won that fight. He was dominating the fight. Eddie was showing that toughness that he's always shown throughout his career, but
Dude, he was fucking
he
hurt with the left hand, and he
bad.
took a straight shin to face head kick with not even like blocking it at all, like straight shin to face,
I
and he was
know.
still up on his feet.
I know. It was amazing, but he took the cheap way out. You
Yeah,
know?
man. Like they're. I have a problem with this. Like, if you knee somebody and then boom, you knee them again directly, like fast, then I would have been like, all right, that's okay.
3 times.
Because yeah, you're heated in the moment. And he
3 times.
paused. He paused he paused in between each knee.
That was crazy, especially
It
the
was like
last one.
knee, it was like knee paused. The first knee was good.
Yes, I agree. They said it was illegal on the broadcast.
It
I
was
didn't think it
legal.
was illegal.
Second knee
Was close. But the
was
third knee is
close, but it was still good.
undisputed.
The third, he was direct. He was on. Dustin was pretty much laying on the floor.
I know. It reminded me of what happened when you got kneed by George, Ian. It was a similar
Yeah, I
situation,
know,
you know.
which was illegal and should have been a win
Exactly.
on my belt, but it fucking
Exactly.
blows my mind. It
Exactly.
fucking blows my mind. Like your knee is obviously, and your body is obviously on the floor, and you took a time to pause because he's just like, should I knee here? And Herb Dean yelled, "Hey, this knee's illegal. Hey, you
Twice.
need him." And
Twice.
then yeah, and then afterwards, Herb went to the commission and goes like, "I'm gonna call it a no contest." And Dustin Poirier, man, dude, I'm a big fan of him. He's extremely tough, and I'm pretty sure I was like, man, Dustin can continue, but he was like, dude, it felt like my eyeball went in my damn socket after he
That
kneed
was
me out. He's like,
nasty, man. That was a
yeah, yeah, it
nasty
was a
ass
brutal
knee.
knee.
And the thing was, Dustin
Yes,
would have continued.
exactly. If Dustin can't continue, that means
That's
something's
the
fucking
thing.
wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and then Herb Dean talked to commission. I heard the whole conversation, and he was like, "Look, I'm gonna call it no contest. Like it was the heat of the moment, and sometimes fighters can't determine if it's legal or not."
No
I'm
way.
like, "But Herb, you told him
No way.
it was illegal,
This is
and he threw it anyway." And it was like a 5 second pause. It was like one Mississippi,
he pushed
two
him down to do
Mississippi,
it. He
three
pushed him down to
Mississippi,
do it.
and held him down,
Exactly.
and pretty much counted to 5 Mississippi, and then fucking kneed him.
Oh my gosh. He wanted a way out. Would you agree? Was there another situation
Yeah,
where
he was hurt. He was hurt and he threw it, man. I lost a lot of respect for Eddie. But it sounds like they're gonna do that fight again. And I'll be fucking really
it
upset if
was
Eddie pulls that
I would
off.
say it's a great fight. It was a great fight, man. It didn't disappoint. I mean, if Jason Knight wasn't on that card and Chase Sherman and Rashad Coulter, it would have been
Dude,
fight of the night. They had a lot to live up to. They were doing
that
it,
was yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, Eddie took the easy way out. And I mean,
Dude.
well, let
I
me
know.
ask you this, Ian. You get situations like this, right? The UFC sees this. It's happening. You know, this isn't the first time a fighter's thrown a blatant illegal knee. What do you do? Do you pay him less? Do you give the other fighter a percent of the purse for that? Or
You had to make that an automatic win if they can't continue. You can't do no contest anymore.
well, I'm saying the UFC or any other MMA organization for that matter, should they take responsibility in some way and say to this fighter, "Hey, this is clearly an illegal strike. There's no
Well,
disputing it." You know, to discourage
you have to
fighters from
make
doing
them.
this.
You're gonna have to make them pay. Like you're gonna have to a legal knee. Either you automatically take a point away right away, and if that fighter can't continue, you automatic loss. There's no contest in this.
Well, let me ask you this, and you might know the rules better. It's been a long time since I've actually seen a fight be called as a decision after an illegal strike. Why the hell don't they do the same thing in boxing where if there's an illegal foul where a fighter can't continue, they go to the cards? I mean,
They
yes, I
need
know
to.
it's only 2 rounds, but Dustin would have won that fight on the cards as well.
You know
Clearly.
what? I agree. They need
Clearly.
to. And MMA
And that would
is
prevent
turning.
situations from this like
Yeah,
happening. Even
yeah,
Gagard would have won the fight against Chris too, as it should have been.
dude. MMA is really turned into the boxing. Look at all the routines. Just like there's 10 8 rounds. You know, if you get knocked down, you're pretty much down on the cards
Yeah,
on that.
exactly.
You know, that's a boxing mentality. Even with these new weight classes, like we're putting in 10 pound increments, and that's a boxing thing.
It's
We're
true.
turning a lot into a boxing commission, and I like it because the boxing commission is extremely straight up and it's safe. How many
Exactly.
people you heard fucking lost their life cutting weight in boxing or get screwed out of it? Like, don't get me wrong, like some referees and some judges are just messed up no matter where you go,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
For sure.
But the way that they do like a no contest, there's barely no contest in boxing. It's like we're going to the cards. And that's what
Exactly.
MMA has to be. I don't care if it's fucking 1 round or not. Who's winning that fight to that point?
Exactly.
Go to the
If it's
cards.
going to be a strike like that where it's disputed, I mean, like I said, same thing with Chris Weidman and Gardner Mousasi, that would leave no doubt. You know what I mean? Like this is a problem, and I agree with you. There are certain things about the boxing scoring system I absolutely hate, which they adopted first, and now they're finally waking up and be like, you know what? A dominant round should actually be a 10-8. Who was
Yep.
it that said it when the pay per view was going on? It might have been John Anik who brought up the fact that, when, who was it? Courtney Casey fought Jessica Aguilar. Remember
Oof.
at the end of the first round, she tagged her, and they
Yeah.
said it was a late strike, and then Courtney Casey's hand hit the floor, and he said, well, if this was boxing, that would be a 10-8 round.
Yep.
And obviously you can't have that rule in MMA because of the nature of it, but dominance should be rewarded,
Dude, Glory has that rule too.
Right, but it's MMA, so it's got to be different than that. But the dominant position, but even now it seems like the judges aren't really getting that. But they got it right with Joanna, except she should have won every single round 10-8. I
Oh,
mean,
for
she
sure.
just mauled
For
her.
sure.
The technique, the precision, the skill. We'll get to it. I'm sorry, people. It just connects to what we're talking about right now. You know, but I mean, the prelims overall, it was just, I mean,
Dude.
phenomenal,
And then
phenomenal.
you had the ultimate fight on the prelim.
Holy shit,
The battle at the trailer parks.
Coulter and
Chad,
Sherman.
Chad Skelly versus Jason Knight.
See, for me, that wasn't even fight of the night. It was a hell of a fight. Don't get me wrong.
Dude,
And Jason Knight's,
there were just two country boys that were just like, fuck it, let's just do this.
I
Let's just
agree.
do this and let's just throw.
But you saw the fight before that, right? The heavyweight
Dude,
contest.
dude,
Holy shit!
that was a hell of a fight. That was a hell of a fight, man. And then, like, I don't understand. Dude, people, you got to start checking leg kicks. It's not that hard to do.
Man, those were
It's
nasty leg
Listen,
kicks.
I learned my lesson after my first big fight in Bellator. You know, like I was getting leg kicked, but I was still standing strong. But I'm like, you know what? I couldn't walk for almost a week. Like even though I looked all right in the fight,
Yeah.
that takes a long-term effects. Like only thing you have to do is just lift your goddamn leg up.
Right. Turn it into him and let him feel
Yeah,
the impact. It's gonna hurt you like a bitch either way, but you might as well
it's gonna hurt him
return
more.
some damage. Exactly.
It's gonna hurt him more.
Exactly. I think
See,
it's
that's
some fighters are scared to check leg kicks. Think about
why.
Anderson Silva.
Okay, but
Like
yeah,
as a
yeah, but
fighter,
that's a positive way to check a leg kick though. Anderson was throwing hard leg kicks with no repercussion, and Chris Weidman wasn't checking him. And he goes, you know what? He's destroying my leg right now. I'm gonna check this, and look what happened. And you know what? I think there's a little more science and stuff behind it. I think I condition my legs. I kick tires. That's what conditions your legs for checking leg kicks and just kicking overall.
right?
I think Anderson had. I think Anderson's shins are so damn conditioned that he doesn't really have all the little nerves in his shins.
He doesn't
When you
feel
kick a
it.
table,
He doesn't feel
no,
it.
it doesn't. And I think he had a previous fracture before because he doesn't feel it. And I think that's what pretty much snapped it off.
My leg's hurting right now just talking about this. Bro, that was so nasty. But I seriously think for some fighters, like checking a leg kick is a scary thing because it's shin on shin. Even if it's the stronger part of the shin, some fighters they don't want to do that. And maybe
It's
Coulter wasn't thinking about it.
it's either you want to get your shin bruised and you're returning damage. You might check it so bad that the guy's like, "Fuck this! I'm not throwing leg kicks anymore."
Right. But
You
that's
know?
a gutsy thing
That's
to
the whole
do.
point of it.
That's a gutsy thing to do, though. A lot of fighters don't do it, and I think that might be the reason why, personally.
It's horrible.
It is. It is. I mean, it's a simple technique. And, I mean, it's just like guys who kick with the foot, and you see this a lot of kickboxing. You don't see it in MMA. It's very effective in getting guys to stop throwing head kicks at you is putting that elbow out there. They catch the foot on the elbow. Oh, my goodness. But the thing is, guys are scared that if they catch it on the shin, it's going to destroy their elbow.
No.
But it's a one bone is stronger than the other kind of situation. So, but I mean, no questioning Rashad Coulter's heart, no questioning his freaking endurance. I mean, it was crazy what those guys did. That fight was just amazing to watch. Props to both of them, man. Neither one of them gave up. Rashad couldn't even walk. At one point, he was hopping on one leg, still throwing power punches, hurting Sherman. I would love to see that fight again. We'll see if Rashad learns how to check a leg kick, but Jason Knight, man, he's coming up quick in featherweight. Coming up quick.
I like him, man. Who in this game? I think he's probably one of them. Maybe Damian Maia that has an aggressive attacking guard.
Is insane. I love this
Dude, because Chad Skelly's
grappling.
Chad Skelly's a wrestler.
That's his
Like
thing.
he won.
That's
That's
his
his thing.
go-to.
And he was, and it got to the point that he goes like, I'm not gonna take this kid down anymore.
Right, because as soon as
Like
he
he's
does, he's
making
going
me
to be
work.
in any number of submission attempts. And he did
Oh
some
yeah,
interesting stuff. At one point, didn't he
dude,
go
I
for
like
an
him.
arm lock from the top,
Yep.
like
And then he went
underneath?
for a crucifix underwise. He
Oh,
loves
yeah,
working
that
mission.
was great, too.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
want to
He
take his
just
back.
got
He
his
chose a
dude.
crucifix.
He just got his brown belt. He's just like he does a lot of mission control stuff from 10th
Yep.
Planet. Like he's man, I like his stuff, man.
He's as
I
creative
really
as
like his
BJ
stuff.
Penn was back in the
And
day.
he's fearless on the feet too.
He's got all the tools, Let's see who they give him next. He deserves a main card spot
He
for
wants
sure.
he wants the Korean Superboy.
But man, I'll pay to watch that fight. Absolutely. So many great fights at featherweight right now. I would love to see that fight,
Oh yeah.
All I have to say is don't give him Artem Lobov. Come on, UFC. Don't give him Artem Lobov.
Give him Artem.
Don't play that. Don't play that, man. I don't really want to see that fight per se.
He just needs to get out the UFC, period.
I mean, respect to the man, but I'm saying Jason Knight has earned a bigger player. You know what I mean?
No respect.
So
no respect.
But the prelims, just man. I mean, I talk about the prelims all day. Sorry, David Branch and Jaco. David Branch wins the fight. That's all you need to know, people. You don't need to watch the fight. You don't need to watch the highlights. Even the rankings for that fight. I mean, the UFC looks at it and goes, "Well, he won. Let's give him another fight."
True.
It was
true. Not good at all. I just yawned because of that. Fuck, man. I didn't mean to.
Just thinking about
man.
it. Just thinking about it, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my goodness. But you know who did not put on a boring fight? Frankie Edgar. Damn, did he put it on Yair Rodriguez?
Dude, Yair Rodriguez is gonna he's gonna chop this up for sure. Like I was a little concerned for Frankie for a little bit, just because I'm like, damn, Yair can move, man. Like he can really move. He has the length advantage. He has height on him. I know his ground isn't that good, and Frankie's like old grindstone, man. It seems like he never changes in age at all.
You mean Frankie?
Yeah.
He's getting better.
Dude, he's getting better. He's like fine wine.
Specifically, his wrestling is getting even better. I mean, if you look at his recent fights, he's dominating guys on the ground. I mean, this is some nasty, nasty ground and pound.
Yeah.
He's evolved to that next level.
Perfect game plan. Didn't give Yair distance to kick. I don't even think Yair threw. I think he threw one kick. Maybe he didn't throw anything spinning because he really couldn't.
Well, he faked. He loaded the hips a few times, but every time he did that, Frankie drove in and just powered through and took him down easy.
Yep.
And then just the elbows on the ground. Oh my goodness!
Shut up his eye, man. Couldn't see.
I know. I forget who it was. See. Somebody put a meme on the internet and said, "Did somebody tell Yair that he changed into who was it? Oh, Kelvin Gastelum. You know, Kelvin Gastelum's got those big cheekbones.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of harsh, but I mean,
because Kevin beat him.
Oh my goodness! He's gonna use that magic towel. He's gonna get down to 155 and fight Frank Yeager. DC magic towel on the loose again.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Dude, Frankie is. I don't know what they're gonna do with Frankie, to be honest, because who gets that title shot? Cub Swanson or Frank Yeager?
That fight's never happened. Oh no, that fight happened. What am I saying?
It did, and Frankie destroyed him.
Frankie destroyed him. Exactly. Frankie gets the title shot.
What? What about Cubs is on like a 5-fight win streak. He just took out Korean Superboy. He pretty much had like bag work on him low ball, but like look what he generated. He never got a title shot in the UFC. He never got a title shot, period. Jose took him out in like 3 seconds. He fought Max Holloway, got beat up. But if Jose wins, it doesn't matter. I think you should give him a title shot.
You think it depends on who wins the fight?
I was thinking if Jose wins, you probably need to give Cub that one because it was only like a 3-second fight.
Right, right. And that was
But
Jose
Max
was
Holloway,
new.
yep,
Jose
yep,
was new in the WEC at
yeah,
the time, and
yeah.
Cub just came in aggressive, and then I mean that was Jose's coming out party for real.
Oh yeah. I don't even think he fucking came out aggressive. I think they touched gloves
Flying double
and
flying knee.
yeah.
That was beautiful. He's hit him with two knees, two flying knees. How many people can say they hit people with two flying knees at
Dude,
once?
it was
That was
bad.
that was insane.
It was bad.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you compare the level of opponents and what they've done to those opponents, yes, did Frankie lose at UFC 200? Yes. Was it a close
Yeah.
fight? Was it a close fight yet again? Yes. Was the
No.
first fight a close fight? I I don't necessarily agree that it was completely dominant by Jose. It was a good fight.
The UFC 200?
Yeah,
Dude, are you kidding me?
it was a good fight.
It was horrible for Frankie. Like he ran away with it. Man, he got destroyed on the feet. Frankie he did not take Jose down once. Like he couldn't even do that. And you know what the difference was? He didn't throw his leg kicks in that fight. Usually Frankie's really good at timing kicks and taking people down. He did not throw them. He got beat up on the feet really bad. It was like Big Brother. He got Big Brothered, man. Like I don't think Frankie wants that again. If I give Frankie max, if
Right.
Jose wins, give Cub Jose.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's kind of who wins, who gets the shot, But I
Yeah.
mean, you got the upper tier featherweight right now. You got Dooho Choi, who lost to Cub. You got Cub. You got Frankie. You got Max Holloway, and you got Jose Aldo. Other than that, it
Duo,
seems like the
duo
level of
choice.
competition at featherweight, there's this bar, and everyone else
Dude.
is trying to breach that bar, but they haven't thus far. You
Yeah.
know?
Duo Choi is coming to Anaheim, which I love it. Both
Woo!
of the Koreans are. Duo Choi is fighting Andre Philly, and then you got
Chen Sung
the
Jung?
Yeah, you got Korean Zombie fighting
Yeah.
Ricardo Lamas.
See, now Chen Sung Jung is also a guy, he's coming off of a long layoff, but what he did to Dennis Bermudez was just extremely impressive
Nasty.
when you look at the kind of wars that Bermudez has been in his UFC career. And, I mean, what was the fight win streak for Bermudez going into that fight? 5 fights, 6 fights? Something crazy, right?
He's been on a couple runs like that. Like he lost to Ricardo Lamas, and he was like on an 8-fight win streak, and
Right.
then he went on a 5-fight win streak, and then got dropped against against the Zombie dude.
Right.
Like it was bad. Yeah.
Right. But long story short, I agree with you when it comes to Frankie Edgar. It depends on who wins the fight between Jose and Max Holloway. I didn't think that it was completely lopsided with Frankie and Jose, but I think you're right. I mean, a third fight right now doesn't make sense. Jose
But it was
definitively
but
beat
it was
him.
definitive.
It
It
was
was definitive.
definitive,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? There was no knockdowns, things like that, but it was a definitive win, But I mean, Max Holloway beat up Cub Swanson worse than Jose beat up Frankie Edgar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That's
mean,
the thing.
whew.
That's the thing. It wasn't a fight at all.
Right. So
Like he
that
used his
rematch doesn't
movement.
make
Yeah.
sense. That rematch doesn't make sense. Frankie doesn't make sense. So let's flip it. Let's see what happens. And I mean, Chan Sung Jung has another impressive performance. He fought how many 4 hard rounds with Jose before there was an injury that stopped the fight.
He looked fucking good, man. Yeah. He
Exactly.
to his
Exactly.
shoulder. He tore
So
his shoulder,
right
and
in the
then
4th round, he
Jose
kept throwing
kicked him to death.
punches. He
Yeah.
kept throwing punches with that shoulder. It was crazy. Even his corner's like, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm not giving up. But Jose made it happen by just kicking that shoulder one more time.
Oh yeah. Oh, he kicked his shoulder to death, man, until he couldn't take anymore.
Well, I mean,
I
in the
think his
fourth
shoulder popped out of
specifically.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, his shoulder caught out of place, and then he felt it, and Jose's like, "I'm just gonna kick it." He kicked his shoulder until his foot broke. 'Cause I think he had a broken foot, Jose, and he was just like, "Fuck this! Like I'm ending this fight right here." His shoulder just came out the socket. Like it's gonna be over.
Right. Right. So the featherweight picture is interesting. The featherweight picture is
It's
interesting.
back to where it used to be. It's stacked. It's stacked.
Exactly.
And then you got Jason Knight waiting in the ring, and everything. So like you have a good play at featherweight right now.
Well,
You
let's
have a
say
good play.
this. Should we give Jason Knight Chen Sung Jung? That's a high level fight for Knight, but I
I
mean,
would
he's
like
on a
to
win streak
see.
in the
I would like to
UFC.
see who wins that fight, winner or loser. I really want to see how Knight do against Ricardo Lamas or Dennis Bermudez.
Yeah, they're kind of that mid-tier level of the featherweight division.
They're up there. They're up there. Yeah, they're nasty. Ricardo fought for a title, and he didn't do that bad. He lost, but he didn't get finished. He didn't get destroyed. Um,
Right.
and we're waiting in the wings for Chad Mendez to get back also
That's yeah, of course. He's the other. I was gonna say he's the other elite of the elite, but he's out right now.
for popping.
So Frankie, I mean, this is kind of like an NFL playoff scenario. Frankie's waiting in the wings to see who wins in hopes that he gets in.
So is Cub.
So is Cub. Exactly.
Yep. They're the top 2 seeds right now.
Right, right. So let's move on to the welterweight division. Your boy Jorge Masvidal
I love him.
versus my boy who I love and I've respected him ever since the Anderson Silva fight, Damian Maia.
Hands down.
What'd you think?
Okay, I thought about it. I was like, okay, like the split was respectable. I can see it 50-50. You can toss the coin.
Right.
But then when I really thought about it, I was like, Damian just won that fight.
Thank you. I agree.
Like there should have been a split. I can see why though. In the moment, I'm like, because honestly, first round you give the Damian.
Absolutely. The back control.
Right?
The back
Exactly.
control was. I mean, he was on
And
his
then
back for 2 minutes.
And then the last
10 seconds of the first round.
2 rounds, the last 2 rounds of the second and third were identical, extremely identical, which was
half and half.
Masvidal just punching, kicking him, like not tooling him on the feet, but having his way.
Right.
Having his way. Maia barely threw anything, and then Maia goes for a takedown, took his back, like literally at that half mark, that 250 mark, and that's all it was. And that was the second and third round. Identical.
I agree with that. And I don't think, because some people thought Masvidal won the fight because in the last 15 seconds of the first round he got off a flurry. But Damian wasn't hurt.
No.
So you can't give the round to him based off of that, you know.
Yeah.
People can get mad, but that's MMA. Control is a part of it. And the thing is, Damian didn't just hold him down. Yeah. He was trying to choke him the entire time.
That's true.
Masvidal had great answer for the submission attempts of Damian Maia. That, to me, that's the most impressive thing about this fight, is that
that's what I thought.
Maia had so much dominance and he wasn't able to submit him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hugely impressed. Which means Maia's just going to get, Masvidal is going to figure out some way to start getting out of those positions. He's going to be really fucking dangerous.
He already is dangerous, but he'll be the elite of the elite dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And then, honestly, people that wanted more action can probably call this fight boring. But I think what did not make it boring is that Damian was going for finishes. Maia was trying to put him on one feet. They were engaging more than David Branch and Jocko.
Oh, by far. By far. We don't need we'll just leave that in the David Branch 1 column. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about in that fight whatsoever. You know, it's funny. I'm on the UFC website, though, and you know how many submission attempts they listed for Damian Maia in that fight?
How many?
0. This is through the official UFC website.
I don't agree. I think because, yeah, he was searching for his nick, but it wasn't that bicep under the chin.
Right.
Hands collapse. And then Masvidal had to go back and fight the hands from the back. And, he needs to pull that down or he's in trouble. There was no squeeze or anything. But you can tell they were hand fighting.
Right. But Damian doesn't need the squeeze to win. That's what makes him so impressive. At one point, he had it on the jawline, close to underneath the chin. He was very close. He had one arm across on his shoulder, and you could see Masvidal was getting squeezed. Damian's
Masvidal's smart. Masvidal's smart like that because he goes. He doesn't really need to squeeze to win. but I'm still gonna defend this anyway. Some people be
Exactly.
like, because some
Exactly.
people would have been like, "Oh, it's not
I'm
under my
okay.
chin. I'm okay.
And then
I'm okay."
squeeze. Done.
Not with fucking Damian Maya.
Exactly. He's
He
won
will
fights with
break
that
your jaw,
one-handed choke. Exactly.
dude. He will break your jaw. Like, look what he did to Rick Story, dude. Did you see the blood come out of his nose?
Oh, it was nasty.
Like
It
when he
was
was squeezing
nasty.
him. That's a
Yes.
hell. When he squeezes, and you're gonna feel it. Like
Yes.
he pretty much gave him a nosebleed by squeezing, and I don't even think that was under the chin all the way. To be honest,
No, it wasn't. And
dude, that's ridiculous.
I know Matt Brown was a similar story. The submission they got against Matt Brown. And Matt, I mean, these guys are tough. These guys are the toughest of the tough.
Fucking Carlos Condit, man. Like I never thought he'll do that to Carlos Condit. And
I mean, manhandling people with jiu-jitsu. And here's the interesting thing: he actually landed more strikes than Masvidal in the fight. Damian Maia did. You know, the UFC listed as 23 significant strikes for Maia, 39 for Masvidal. I think that they're basing that off of fan reception of the strikes because even on the ground, I mean, the strikes that Damian was landing, they weren't just minuscule. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They weren't
yeah.
half-inch hammer
I
fists.
think
He
on the
was
feet.
punching
I
them.
think
He
on
was
the feet.
elbowing them.
Yeah, I think on the feet though. I think Maya missed by a couple of inches because of his range. Like
Right,
a lot of them didn't connect. He threw the throw. Meyer was connected. I mean, Masvidal was connecting.
right, right. Well, let me ask you this. You know, Maia, he's obviously older. This is his title run. You know, he's working
Yep.
on it. He wants that next title shot. He's probably going to get it with this win. He should. He should, in my opinion.
Dana said he is. He went over to the
Oh,
cage
that's
after the
right.
match.
He said, I want the
And,
title shot, and he said, you got it. Which I'm
exactly.
glad for because Dana White and the UFC recognize that it's not that Damian Maia is a boring fighter, that he's not trying to finish guys. It's that these guys are fighting to survive, and that's why Damian can't finish him, you know, because they're aware. Guys are now aware to the point of Damian Maia that they don't want to risk anything in the submission game. So you'll have these back and forth exchanges
Dude,
on the ground
Damian Maya has been around for a while. Like
forever.
I seen this thing that Michael Bisping posted. Michael Bisping is number one with the most UFC wins for 20. I think I think GSP has 17. Donna
Uh,
Cerrone's up there, and so is Damian Maya with like number 4 most wins in the UFC.
right. And you look at the level of competition. Oh my goodness. My word.
He has never took a step back in competition. Like,
He's
and he
never
has a
had an easy
chin.
fight.
He has a chin. Like I can even say he was close to beating Rory McDonald too, before getting that other title shot.
Right.
Also, like the only time I ever seen him knocked out and handled was against Nate Marquardt
And that
when
was
he threw that nasty right hand
right.
and Damian kind of flipped in the air.
Well, the knee.
And
That was the knee
yeah,
knockout. But that
yeah,
was instant. That wasn't a fight. That was, you know, Nate
right
Marquardt
away.
knew he was going to shoot. Damian Maia he was younger, so he was foolish and thought he could just shoot without repercussion. And Nate Marquardt made him pay.
But the stuff he does to when he did the Chael Sonnen and like I'm a judo toss you here and then while I'm judo tossing you, I'm getting in a triangle position right away. Like it's fucking his dude, the best in the world. I would love to see him. I kind of wish he was at 185 to see him face Jacare.
Mm. Yeah. That would be an interesting fight for sure.
But he's getting up there. The only thing is he's getting up there in age. He's like 39?
39, exactly.
39. And check this out. You know his last 3 UFC fights, he only got hit 7 times.
I know.
Combined.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing.
So he could probably fight till he's 45.
At this rate, yes. And that's one thing that's interesting about his career. He don't take damage. He doesn't take damage.
But the thing is, like, he cuts a lot of weight to get down to 70. He's a big boy.
Absolutely. But he's
good.
His cardio has never been in question.
Yep. Nope. It's good. It's never been in question. Like, it's but you need good cardio to cut that weight like that also.
Right.
You know, so yeah, man, like I'm excited for him. Tyron Woodley, I already seen that he brought in a famous, really good training partner, and he's already training for Damian Maia right now. So if you've been seeing his Instagram videos,
That's what
he's
he's
been
gonna
training
need.
with he's been training with the backpack on and walking around with the backpack the whole time. Because that's exactly what's happening.
You better train with that heavy bag on his back. No backpack. I don't care how much rocks he put in it. That's not 50 pounds of pressure. That's not 75. That's a man with. He's probably coming in at fight time at 195 pounds. He's
For sure.
huge,
For
huge.
sure. And apparently, you know what Masvidal said? He's the strongest guy he ever touched inside the cage.
Yep. And it's funny because he doesn't have that huge build. Even at middleweight, he
Oh,
didn't. He don't have that huge
dude,
build at all.
that's what grappling your whole life gets
Grip
you.
strength. Grip
Yeah,
strength.
he probably never lift a damn weight in his life. Like his strength conditioning is probably just cardio based,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just taking down people and just doing that all day.
Right.
That's it.
And he does it in a dominant fashion.
Very.
He does it in a dominant fashion. So we'll see. I mean, the matchup with him and Tyrone Woodley that's a fun matchup. That's a very, very interesting matchup.
Yeah. The only thing I
So
got concerned, Tyrone has a really good takedown defense. He has a laser of a right hand, but he also lost to Jake Shields.
that fight was bullshit. That was a split decision loss. In my opinion, he won every round 30-27. And if it was the modern judging that they implemented that they should have had in the first place, he would have won 30-26.
Hey, it is what it is. Did he win or lose?
I know how this works. Yeah, he lost.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Come on, Ian.
Okay. I'm just saying. All right. Now let's move on.
Oh my goodness. All right, everyone
What they
calm
call
down.
me?
Ian's going to go crazy right now. No, don't worry about him. He's okay. It's just JJ's his MMA girlfriend. A secret crush that's not really a
Dude.
secret.
And forever and ever 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 and still and again and again and again and again and again. Nobody's never gonna take this title away. No, nobody.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised they didn't get
Never.
Rose to get in the cage
Never.
after that fight.
Never. No, I don't even know who that is. Never. This is JJ's fight.
God, did she dominate Andrade?
The greatest striker with long hair, period.
Is she,
in the UFC.
as far as
the
technical
UFC.
striking in MMA goes, in my opinion, I would rank her third behind Prime Anderson Silva, current Demetrius Johnson. I mean, her technical it's amazing. It's amazing to watch what this woman can do.
I put her above. I put Anderson and them probably 1 and 1. I put Demetrius probably at number 2 or 3 because when have you seen Demetrius finish somebody from strikes on the feet?
Right. He's an all-around fighter with the great game. The
JJ
speed.
gives people fucking face plastic surgery.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
Dude, and you know what? Me and Perillo were talking about Jessica Panay because Jessica Panay used to be his fighter, right?
All right.
And she left. And that's what people do. They leave sometimes. I don't know why. But, just change the scenery. And
right, of course.
Ever since she left Jason Perillo, she has not won a fight since. So she took the fight with JJ. Perillo said if I was there, I would have probably told her no. But she took the fight anyway because it's a world title.
Right.
But that's something. If somebody tells you not to take a world title shot, that's something, right?
Absolutely.
She took the fight anyway. She switched camps. After that fight, she really did have to get plastic surgery on her nose.
Yeah. And it's no surprise. I mean, how many head kicks did she land on Andrade? And if it was
Dude, and
anybody else, she would have been out of there.
dude,
She would have been out of there.
Andrade is now the Brazilian zombie because I
Oh
don't
my
understand
word!
how she was fucking standing.
Even the straights that
Like,
she was connecting with were
dude,
just my.
hard
The
right hand.
knees. She caught her with a knee at one point.
And not only
And the
that, the
elbows.
elbows against the
Oh,
clinch,
oh my God!
dude.
Off the
That's
break.
all it was. That was Cub Swanson versus Loval times 5.
That was a Muay Thai clinic. Is what that was.
Dude. And then at one point, you could even stand.
Right.
But I
Exactly.
give it to man, you know what? It's because just JJ, we have a connection, because we met each other.
Oh, I know. It's in the
Anyway,
elevator. It's a beautiful story. Look it up. Ian
yeah,
wrote an
exactly.
article on that one.
Exactly. She knew who I was when the UFC escorted me to meet her. So when I give props to Jessica Andrade because she did not quit at all.
Not
She
one
was
bit.
still trying to come forward. JJ just had better footwork and can circle out.
Right.
But if somebody didn't have better footwork than that, then Jessica would have been catching them for sure. But
She did in the first.
she
She hit
did
her
in
with
the
a
first, and she has
mean
a
hook.
huge
Mean
dude.
hook.
I'm like, I got concerned. I got concerned for that 15 seconds
Whew, the
of the
takedown?
whole. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Out of 25 minutes, I was concerned for 15 seconds.
The end of the first?
When she got caught
End of
with
the
that
first.
flurry, yeah,
Yeah.
and she had a welt over her eye. I'm like, shit.
Oh my
But then
gosh.
after that, JJ's like, all right,
She
adapted.
adjusted.
She didn't hit her since.
Yeah, she adjusted very, very well to
And
the
then the
adversity.
takedown, she got up right away, and in the clinch. I'm like, why are you even doing this? Because you're getting destroyed in the clinch.
Yes.
Like, I think even JJ's even probably learned you ran to get into the clinch, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Jessica's best bet in that fight was to come forward throwing those wild hooks, which is what she caught her with in the first. And I think after that she got a little frustrated and she kind of started jumping in. But you're right, the clinch game, even though she is stronger than JJ overall, that was clear in the first round. Technically wise, I mean the Muay Thai clinch that JJ has and the elbow she has on the breaks, you don't want to get in there with her in
I
a
want to
clinch.
know what the hell Andrade's corner was saying.
Right.
Like,
I
it's
think
just at that point, like, I was like, look, don't even burst forward like that. Don't stand in the middle. Like, you just gotta shoot the whole time. Honestly, maybe try. You have to try something different. Like, you can't
right.
come for it anymore. First of all, let's start checking these fucking kicks. Like, once again,
Here we go again, people. Oh my goodness.
seriously.
It's so true. It's so true. Another
She starts switching
example.
stances,
Mm-hmm.
and guess what? When she starts switching stances in a second, she didn't have that much of explosiveness to come forward anymore. And she started getting slower and slower. Why? Because she only has one fucking leg to stand on.
Right. She can't plant on that foot and really dig into
Yeah,
those hooks.
yeah.
She had to jump. She literally was jumping at JJ at
And
one point.
and and if you're jumping, that's too much time that I'm gonna get out the way.
Right. And then counter. And then
Exactly, and that's
counter
what
immediately.
JJ
Those
did.
straights. Those
That
straights.
was
Whew.
that was probably the easiest fight for JJ ever seen. And everybody
Even
was
with that
saying that
welt
this
on
is
her head. You think
yeah,
so, even with the welt on her head?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And people it wasn't even it was honestly, you know what it was? It was Canelo versus Chavez Jr.
No.
Yep.
No. Because Chavez
Yep.
never once hit Canelo clean.
Oh
Never
yeah. I
once.
mean, he did hit him like a couple jabs here and there. Like
Yeah, but
uh
nothing like the hook that Andrade landed on JJ.
it was almost that's okay. That's the one thing that happened, but the rest of that fight
But that's what
was pretty
JJ
similar.
needs. It's good to have a little bit of adversity, especially as a champion, because you still have that respect. How many guys do we see who lose kind of that respect and then, they try to implement a game plan, they get caught? Prime example, Matt Serra, GSP.
Oh
What
yeah.
a shocker that was.
Oh yeah.
Luke Rockhold, Michael Bisping. These situations where it seems like, oh, they don't really have a chance, and all of a sudden, the
Get
champ.
clean with the fucking left hook.
Exactly. The champ
And Luke
gets
Rockhold was fucking
cocky.
chin up in the air. Yep, cocky.
That's exactly it, and it's happened on multiple occasions. GSP didn't respect Matt Serra. Luke Rockhold sure as hell didn't respect Michael Bisping. But JJ respects every opponent she has.
Do you think JJ is probably one of the greatest female fighters alive?
In my opinion, she's pound for pound best female fighter in the history of women's MMA. Who else are you going to say goes up there? Ronda Rousey? She got her record tarnished.
Okay, even though Ronda had that loss and 2 losses,
brutal.
Think about the run. Think about the run that she went on, though. Do you give respect to that at all?
Of course. She goes up. Okay, so this is my order. I think. All right. So JJ's at the top.
Okay.
Women pound for pound. I will put Ronda at number 3 and Cyborg at number 2.
Ooh.
All time. I think that's the way I would rank it.
Yeah, man. Cyborg ain't no joke, dude. I just sparred her last week, and we were going at it. Like, honestly, sometimes I don't even see her as a girl.
Equality.
I'm just going at this.
It's equality. Dude. It's a fight. Sparring, training, and you learn from it. Cyborg is one of the best strikers in the world.
Dude. And you know what? What is one of my best attributes I have? I think, like, I'm one of the top strikers in MMA because I even fought in Glory. What is one of my best weapons I have, you think, in my arsenal?
Your body kicks.
That. What else?
Jab.
My jab.
Yeah, you stick.
It's hard to land my jab. It was hard to land my jab on Chris because she has the Muhammad Ali like roll and everything. Like I get her a couple times,
right?
And so I'm like, fuck, like.
And you have 30 pounds on her, like weight wise.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, like, it takes somebody with a high fighter IQ to realize that. Like, it's not that just JJ's, like, in Cyborg are that good. They have a high fighter IQ that, like, I'm going to adjust here because I got clipped that left hand.
Right.
I'm going to start attacking this leg. Like, and they made those adjustments in the fight. Right. That's what made fucking the greatest fighters alive.
Exactly. No, I agree. The ability to adapt is way more important than the ability to dominate. Because what happens if you dominate and then all of a sudden one person gives you a slight bit of adversity? If JJ hadn't kept her cool, I mean, Andrade got 2 heavy takedowns in the first and clipped her. In my opinion, I thought Andrade won the first round.
What?
With those things. Yes. I mean, yes, she did get up right away, but that was the most significant thing that happened in the first round. And it was very significant. And even though she didn't hurt her with other hooks, she landed a couple more significant hooks in that round as well. I know. You're probably going to disagree with me on that one. But just rewatch round 1 and then pretend that JJ is somebody else and maybe you'll agree with me. You can't go against your girl. I understand it.
So here's the question. What's next for her?
It's Rose. That's the fight to make. It's Rose.
How's that fight come out?
Well, here's the thing. Andrade, gritty brawler. Rose, technical brawler.
Okay.
She's comfortable anywhere the fight goes, and she has more of an arsenal than Andrade does.
Okay.
She has a more diverse arsenal than pretty much anybody that JJ has fought. Claudia is a brawler. The people who have given JJ any problems whatsoever are brawlers. I mean, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, she hurt her, but technically wise, nobody can go technical for technical with her.
So you don't think Rose can go technical to technical?
I think that's not her best bet to win the fight.
She can't take her ass down. Have you been looking at JJ's takedown defense lately?
I know. It's getting better and
better. Because either you take her down, or guess what? She's getting right back up. And that sinks in your heart. And then when that happens, after probably 2 times or 1 time you did take her down, she gets back up. after the whole fight, you can't even get close to taking her down anymore.
Right. Because she adapts. She adapts to your takedown style. She adapts to the way that
Exactly.
you grapple and the way you wrestle.
Which I
That's what
think
makes her
is
the
fucking
best.
phenomenal.
That's what makes her the
Because look,
best.
dude, you're talking about probably one of the best wrestlers in the division, Carla Esparza.
Oh, God.
Look, dude,
Oh, God.
look what the fuck happened to that. And I never seen nobody. I'll start using that for my fights. Like that, I think I have pretty damn good takedown defense, but like she kind of opened up my eyes to it. There's different takedowns. There's clinches, takedowns. There's different ones.
Right.
She, like you said, she adapts to it. With Carla, every time she shot, she made her pay with nasty elbows because she just posted up after she shot and
Right.
dug into her with elbows to the face.
Right.
Like I never seen that shit before. Like it was fucking nasty.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that was, in my opinion, that was probably her most dominant fight. When she won the title,
Dude, I
wow.
felt bad for Carla.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about this after Rose fought Watterson. After JJ fights Andrade, Rose and JJ are on a collision course. It's only a matter of time before it happens. That's the most interesting fight at this weight class. And
Well, who else is she gonna fight?
I mean,
Besides Rose,
honestly,
who else is in the mix?
the only two other girls in the mix that are really in the mix are Claudia Gadelia and
I don't want to see that shit
Kovacevic.
again. I don't want to see
Exactly.
that shit.
Exactly. So what do? You got the Rose fight, and one person, and she had a dominant win. Courtney Casey against Jessica Aguilar. She's looked very impressive.
Dude, Courtney Casey's so huge for that division.
She's looking very, very impressive, and maybe that's something that will give JJ problems because she's never fought a girl that was that much bigger than her. Yes, Andrade was, but she wasn't bigger in stature, only in weight and strength.
Yeah,
Courtney's longer. That's a big deal.
And you know what though? Like I thought the same thing. Like everybody was saying, Jessica Andrade is like that's the toughest test. Everybody's gonna worry. Dude, I was cool as a cucumber the whole time. You know why? Because
she's not long enough.
That and look what she did to Angela Hill. She dominated Angela Hill, right?
Right.
Did she? I don't think Angela Hill comes close to JJ's stature, and
because Angela's so much smaller. You mean?
Well, skill set.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And she couldn't finish Angela Hill.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I was like, if you can't finish Angela Hill, there ain't no way in hell you're gonna finish JJ. And another thing is, they're like, oh, JJ's really strong. I think Carla Delia is stronger than Jessica Andrade, to be honest.
I agree with that as well. She is the grittiest fighter at 115.
Exactly. So I'm just putting the puzzles together because that's what I like to do.
MMA math don't work, but go ahead.
MMA math don't work, but just on a psychological standpoint, like look what you just said. You said she can't finish Angela Hill, right?
Right.
Now, if you get the takedown, Claudia, she got up multiple times against a legit world-class black belt. Jessica Andrade is a purple.
Right. True.
Claudia Del is a lot stronger. I'm just adding up that I'm like.
In your head going into the fight.
Exactly.
Like, Jessica Andrade is a smaller, less technically savvy version of Claudia Gadelia.
Pretty much.
Got you. That makes sense. So give her Rose. That's the fight to make. So we'll see.
And
what
then
happens.
I'm looking at that, like, and then looking at Rose and Kovacevic. Rose lost a split decision to Kovacevic.
And Kovacevic got pieced up by JJ.
Exactly.
For the most part.
What the fuck's gonna happen?
For the most part. Kovacevic knocked her down. That was the most adversity she's faced in her career. She was in trouble in that situation, but she remained calm. She got out of the round, and she went right back to what she was doing, the rest of the fight.
I don't think Rose show up sometimes in big fights. I think this is going to be a problem.
We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I mean, it's interesting you say that because, everyone knows she's with Pat Barry, and Pat Barry kind of had the same problem. as a heavyweight. And I love Pat Barry, man. Pat Barry is one of my favorite heavyweights all time. The way he fought, but every time he really stepped up in class, it seemed like he became
he gave a
too.
lot of respect.
He gave too much respect, right? And then he allowed people to control him, which he didn't fight well backing up. Crow Cop
No,
is a prime example of it. He even said,
dude, I was
"I'm
just
just
about to
happy to
mention
be
that.
fighting Crow Cop. I'm just happy to be there." Um, so we'll see. We'll see how
You know
Rose
who
comes
helped
in.
with that? You know who helped with that and got me on my journey now? And a lot of people are coming at me with fights, and I'm starting to build a name. You helped me out with that because what happened in Glory?
As far as
My mindset was, I'm just happy to be here.
I told him, yeah, I told Ian that. People probably don't know. You don't know this. Ian fought in Glory. He came out gritty and strong, but I remember leading up to the fight, the week of the fight, he just, you were saying, "I'm happy to be in Glory. This is a dream come true. I can't believe that I'm fighting for Glory. So soon after my last fight, this is an amazing opportunity. Just to be here is a pleasure." And I think partially that, you had a different mindset than you would going into a different fight in a different organization.
Usually, all my fights are like, I'm gonna fucking destroy this guy.
Right,
Like it's like, hey, you might be good here and there, but guess what? Like I'm pretty good too, and I have heart. My heart will outlast your heart.
right,
Like I never had any easy opponents, and
right.
dude,
Not at
I
all. Not at
no,
all.
no,
So,
no.
and
I
that's what
always
Rose
fought a
needs
veteran.
around her. Rose needs people around her saying, not only can you be here against JJ, you can win. And if she doesn't have that around her, I don't know if she's going
Dude,
to have the
it's
confidence.
I don't think so either. Like
Mentally, JJ
Trevor
can break
Woodman,
her if that's the case.
she has a JJ's one of the most mentally strongest people in this sport today.
She's so focused. She's so focused. She
In
even
this
said,
sport today.
"I left Poland to come to ATT. She's gotten nothing but better and better and better. She doesn't have the Dutch distractions other fighters have, and her sole purpose in life is defending the strawweight strap.
Yep,
That's it." She
yep,
even said
and
it.
I fucking love it. I love it.
Nobody,
That's
nobody
the
is
reason
taking this
why
title.
I love her, man. This is the reason why I love her. Like it's dude, like how many people just like who's your favorite fighter? And like your favorite fighter is a girl. It's just dude, she's so mentally strong.
Hmm.
She's funny, she's goofy. It's everything I am wanna fucking be. Not only that, but she just exudes confidence, man. Like
Right.
she's gonna be a champion for a very long time and she's gonna have to probably move up to 125.
I think that she would probably make that move anyways once they establish that division, when they create a
Well,
title
I
in the
I would
UFC.
like to see her versus Valentina
Oh,
Shevchenko
Shevchenko?
at 125. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, that would be an interesting fight. And man, is it
because
funny? The summer. I just got to take a second. The summer kickoff, Shevchenko. Nobody understood what she was saying, but she's like, "No, no, no, no. You have no time. You have no time. You have 8 weeks. 8 weeks. That's it. You have 8 weeks." And the man in news kept saying, "I beat you. I beat you. You don't understand. I beat you." That was
what is
the
Shevchenko?
funniest point in that
Shevchenko's what?
kickoff.
Russian,
Yes. Anybody with
dude.
Chenko as the last part of their name is probably from Russia.
Okay, so me and Devin were talking about this last night. There is something. So there is something about Polish and Russian that is just tough and gritty. And I'm saying this more than Americans.
As fighters, hell yes. Hell
Dude,
yes.
there is something
Hell
that like
yes.
if you fight like a Russian or Polish fighter, like you better fucking come fight.
Right. And there's not a lot of emotion for the most part during the
No,
fight.
no.
It's
And I think that's
focus.
why
It's focus.
I like it even more. Like I like their dude, man. There's something about them. Like a lot of people don't know. Valentina Shevchenko beat JJ and Muay Thai
Right. Way back in the day, yeah, before she
way back in the
began
day.
her MMA career.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's something about Valentina Shevchenko is a strong, powerful woman.
Hmm.
Like she's just like JJ, but bigger. Like her nickname is Bullet, bro.
The
You know?
precision. The precision of the
Yeah, man.
strikes. Yep.
There's something about that land and that country
Mm-hmm.
that comes out I don't know, you might be seeing like the new 135 champion. We'll see.
I agree. She gave her a tough fight,
She gave her a tough
but
fight and she doesn't get tired
we'll
either.
have that. We'll have that in the future. We can't forget the main event of the evening. I mean,
Oh boy,
rest in
it
peace,
was not
Junior
a
Dos
fight.
Santos.
It was not a fight
Rest in peace,
at
Junior.
all.
You know what happened? And it finally figured out. To me, it's very reminiscent. Back in the day, one of my favorite heavyweights was Czech Congo as a young prospect in the UFC. And
Really?
Junior
Czech
Dos
Congo?
Santos has the same problem. He circles away after landing his vicious combinations. He circles away towards the cage with his hands down or out.
And you know what? And
He gets caught. He gets caught.
who exposes that? Kane exposed that.
Exactly. Kane exposed that. Alistair exposed that. And now Stipe has. That's the recipe.
Yep.
That's the formula.
Dude, it was, and the worst part, he circles away against the cage with his chin up in the fucking air.
Exactly. He always does it. Yeah. It's almost a Brazilian thing because I've seen Shogun do it. I've seen Lyoto do it. I've seen Vanderlei do it. So maybe it's just part of that fighting style, that whole I'm safe, the baseball, we're safe, we're good. And as soon as you stick your hands out, you ain't safe, you ain't good. Especially not against Steve Miocic.
No, that can hit
going
like
down,
a fucking tank.
Going down like a rock. And for me, that kind of puts, not in his career, in Junior's career, but it puts the nail in the coffin of his title hopes at this point.
No, he's not getting another title shot. Why would you?
Well, no, not title shot. I mean, period, being at the elite level and being able to actually win a title in the future. I think if he fought Arlovsky would expose that as well. I think Derek Lewis would exploit that as well. Like, there's a formula, There's a formula, and once people start figuring that out, they exploit it. I'll give you a prime example: Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
And it's interesting, but that's MMA.
And that blows my mind. Like, I think when you look at Ronda, how many great strikers did she face? It was mostly all grapplers.
Exactly. When you look at the people that Junior dominated, you got Frank Mir. The big win was, Verdum, but he was a grappler at the time.
Oh, that nasty uppercut! Jesus Christ!
Exactly. You have Crow Cop, but Crow Cop was older in his career. You know what I mean? He couldn't deal with the speed of Junior. And
yeah, but you came.
Exactly, but Kane is a definitive all-around fighter. He can fight anywhere the fight goes. He can even get up off of his back.
That's my favorite heavyweight, you guys. I love me some Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez is special because if you look at the heavyweight division overall, how many guys in the heavyweight division would you say are more than single disciplined? Legitimately, they're stronger in more than one area.
That's true.
There's 4 or 5 guys, and they all are champions or were champions.
And Kane's biggest strength, honestly, exactly.
Cardio.
Exactly. Call him Cardio Kane.
Right.
Because that's obviously that's a huge problem in the heavyweight division. Period.
Right. Even the Sherman and Coulter fight was an amazing fight, but at one point they both put their hands on their knees and were like, "Okay, let's take a break."
It's the first round.
Let's take a break.
The first fucking round.
And I think it's the mentality of like, I'm a heavyweight. I've got 265 pounds worth of power behind this punch, and you just throw hell. You just throw hell without fear of it not landing and you having to continue the fight while being gassed.
Yeah, but it's
even like Derek Lewis pushed through that in his fight, against Roy Nelson, but he did it. But he's also single discipline fighter. He's a striker.
True.
True. So, who do you give Stipe? Stipe is a great champion. I think Verdum deserves a rematch.
Nope, you give him Kane.
Well, of course, but how long will Kane be out for?
I don't know, but that's the fight that everybody wants to see.
Oh yeah.
You're like people are calling Kane one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Do you agree with that?
As they should. Yeah, I agree with it.
Okay. Now, Stipe is going on a really good run at heavyweight.
Right.
Like Stipe is on his way to doing that.
Right.
But you have to do that matchup, man. I don't think the UFC wants to give Verdum a title shot because he's been turning down fights.
He's
Reason why Junior
angry
got that
because
fight.
he deserves more money than what they're paying him, and he's right. He's been nothing but devoted to that organization, man. He's taken fights on short notice in the past, and he's like, you know what? I'm sick of being mistreated. Plain and simple. That's my opinion of the situation, you know. But the thing is, if you look at people Stipe's fought on his run, Verdum, well, Junior, obviously he beat him, but Stipe done with that one now. Verdum was winning that fight. Stipe was hurt going backwards, and he caught Verdum because he got over-aggressive.
Big time. He ran at him.
Yeah, and Verdum was dominating, and that's why he ran at Stipe, because Stipe was about to fall down. But he didn't. That's why I want to see that rematch. You know?
Well,
but Kane deserves the title shot more than anybody else. Agreed.
Verdum has a big task in front of him, which is Alistair.
Yeah, I agree. But Verdum beat Alistair back in Strikeforce, man. Verdum beat Alistair back in Strikeforce. I know you're going to say, who won the fight on paper? I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
He outstruck Alistair Overeem when he was in the prime of his career, fighting in K1, won a World Grand Prix, and Verdum said, I don't give a shit. I'm going to jab you, I'm going to cross you, and I'm going to throw some vicious-ass knees, and then this bullshit commission's going to be like, you know what? Everyone likes Alistair Overeem. Let's let him keep his title and make him seem invincible, even though he's going to get knocked out when he gets to the UFC like 5 times.
Hey, so if Derek Lewis beats Mark Hunt, is Derek Lewis in line for a shot?
Why not? Heavyweight division's wide open. Always is.
I like Derek Lewis, man. I think he'd be communicative. I think it'd be funny. How do you think he match up against Stipe?
He better work on his wrestling big time.
A lot of people.
He better work on his wrestling big time.
A lot of people don't know that Stipe can wrestle.
But
that's the thing, though. When he faces Kane, Kane's a way better wrestler than Stipe.
Right. But stranger things have happened. Kane got knocked out by Junior. You know?
That was legit, though.
And that was legit.
Well, yeah, like, yeah.
Right. But, I mean, yes, if Lewis beats Hunt, give him a title shot. You realize, and I was watching the pay-per-view, and I couldn't believe this when I heard the stat. The record in the history of the UFC for title defenses at heavyweight was 1, not 2. He beat the record with 2. He didn't tie it. He beat it. How crazy is that?
Well, yeah, I know. Because
how many times
Kane won a title? 3 times? Because what? He won it.
Brock.
He defended
Junior.
it, and then he lost it,
Verdum.
and then he won it back.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's crazy.
I know. But and they're calling Kane the greatest heavyweight of all time, and he did that.
Right. But back in the day, you got Tim Sylvia, who was dominant, Andrei Arlovski and Frank Mir in the older days of the UFC, but none of them, even in their quote-unquote dominance, were able to defend the title more than once. I mean, think about the other divisions. You're talking 5, 6, 7 title defenses.
How many times did BJ defend his title at lightweight?
Oh, my goodness. I think probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Probably 8 or 9.
You're right.
So, and you look at divisions, like that's the way it is. So, heavyweight's wide open. Stipe won dominantly. There's not much to say except you better check a leg kick in your next fight. You fight Alistair again, you better check a leg kick. Same thing, like you were saying. He was hobbling too.
It's not the same anymore, man. Back in the day, people ran the division. This is how it was, right? It was we didn't have 45. It was lightweight, BJ ran it. 170, you either had Matt Hughes or you had GSP. Mostly GSP,
Yes.
right? At 85, you had Anderson.
Right.
At 205, you had Chuck Liddell.
Yep.
And then heavyweight was open.
Round robin. Round robin. So
Round robin, right?
exactly.
And then light heavyweight start becoming that a little bit because
Right.
Rampage came in, and then Forrest, and
Mhm.
then the Yodo Shogun, and then 85 kind of stayed the same. It's always Anderson,
Until Wyman.
And then Wyman, and then 70 start becoming almost like that. Like, let's see, Johnny Hendricks came in, and then Robbie took over for a good while.
Right. But that
Right?
division broke open. When GSP left, that division broke wide open. And when BJ
Yep.
left lightweight, that division broke wide open.
Yep, because lightweight was what? It was Frankie, and then it was the Ben Henderson show.
Which was
I thought,
a few title defenses.
yeah, a few title defenses, and then
Pettis.
RDA.
And then RDA.
Oh, yeah, Pettis.
Mm-hmm.
Pettis had a good little run, and then RDA I thought really was going to take over.
Right. But overall, you look at the divisions, the heavyweight division has always been wide open. Always. It might always will be just because at that weight class, you don't need a ton to finish a guy. You don't need a ton. So,
It's true.
and that's why Kane got caught against Junior. But then you have a guy come in who everyone's like, oh, they're going to give Verdum a title shot against Cain Velasquez, and then he just destroys him at altitude in Mexico. That fight was no contest. No contest. Easiest fight of Verdum's career, in my opinion. Kane had nothing for him. And Kane's considered to be one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, if not the greatest. In UFC history, that's what they're going to say.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
But Stipe's getting up there, Stipe is getting up there. I love watching him fight.
I like Stipe. I like his personality.
He's a good champion. He's a great champion. He represents his city. He represents Croatia. He's proud of his Croatian heritage, and he's a good role model. It's a
Midwest thing. I like the
model.
Midwest people. That's where I'm from.
Where I'm from. You know who's not from the Midwest?
Huh.
John, I don't do anything right, Bones Jones.
Hey, but guess what? He ran the lightweight division, and you can't deny that.
Who? Oh,
light
you mean light heavyweight?
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, he did.
There's no questioning his ability. Faces. I question his character.
That has nothing to do with fighting.
But it does, because right now he's not currently competing. I'm just saying. Sometimes the two meet each other, and you know what's great? Stipe will never have any issue like that whatsoever.
Oh no,
he lives in his city, married, for his city, for his family. He's
still
elegant,
a firefighter. Yeah,
in his speech, he's a humble man. He's a great champion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we'll see what happens against Kane. That's a great fight. That'll be the best heavyweight fight
of all time, probably.
Yeah, for the UFC, I think that would be the most interesting heavyweight fight, other than Cain Velasquez Jr. too, because Jr. won the first fight the way he did. But that fight didn't really live up to the hype of being a competitive fight. It wasn't. Neither the second nor the third was anything close to a competitive fight. Jr. had nothing for Cain. So,
another true one, my friend.
Right? All right, man. So that's UFC 211. What a fun card.
That was a lot.
Yeah, exactly. If y'all didn't watch because we talked about the prelims. Why? Because the prelims were off the chain. People watch the prelims.
Yeah, I know.
Watch the prelims, man.
You had to.
Whew. Good stuff. Any organization, if you're not watching prelims, you're missing out on the top up-and-coming talent in MMA.
Dude, the prelims are where it's at, man. Exactly. That's where if you're not a true fight fan, then
if you are a true fight fan, then you're going to watch the prelims.
If you are a true fight fan, exactly.
Get
there at the show at 3 o'clock when the doors open.
Right.
Exactly. Watch those fights.
Exactly. If you pay to go to a card, watch every damn fight. I know it's a long time, but bring a little snack. Bring a little pillow if you need to take a nap in between the prelims and main card. But get your money's worth. Get your money's worth. They got food there at the venue. There you go.
Exactly.
So, and with that, we got exactly bring a wallet. and with that, we've got Glover and Gustafsson coming up this coming week in Sweden. We've got time to even preview the card right now, but it's going to be interesting. I love watching the European fighters. They have a different style than Americans, and it's going to make for a very fun night of fights.
Mostly savvy on the feet.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them don't have a strong jiu-jitsu game, but dude, Gustafsson's tough. Glover, interesting to see what kind of Glover we get because he hasn't been the same after getting knocked out by Anthony Johnson.
Right. He either overperforms or underperforms. He's never in the middle.
Exactly.
And that's been his whole career, but we'll have to see what happens. Ian, final thoughts? UFC 211, go.
Yep. All right. UFC 211 was absolutely stacked. Like we said before, that's the reason why you like the prelims. A lot of people wouldn't even know who Jason Knight is if he was on the main card, but he started on the prelims,
Yep.
Just like in life, everybody had to work their way up the ladder. Doesn't nobody start in a CEO or boss position,
Oh,
Everybody
preach, Ian. Oh, preach.
So you had to, it's the same thing at the prelims, man. Watch the UFC Fight Pass. Watch the prelims. If you're a fight fan, take the day, bring your snacks. That's what it's all about, man.
Yep.
Everybody, like I said, everybody starts from somewhere. You're actually gonna catch a name that you might like, and it's fun, man. You can watch them on the ways up, exactly, and watch their rise.
Absolutely.
So that's the key thing about it, man. It's not all about the main cards. Sometimes I even like prelims better than the main card fights. It's really good, man. It was an outstanding card. The future's bright for MMA. It's interesting to see. We're gonna have the new women's 125 weight class. The commission added new weight classes, so we've got 165, 95, 225. So we're gonna see where this is gonna go in the future, also. But phenomenal card. The summer kickoff tour kicks off, so we're gonna have amazing cards this summer. It's gonna end July 29th, close to our hometown in Anaheim, California, with John Jones versus DC. I just got told my friend Colin Curran's going to get put on that card too.
Nice.
I just seen her yesterday. She told me she's fighting on that card. So
yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun summer, man. A fun summer for MMA. So everybody can just kick out, get your grill going, eat some barbecue, cook it, invite some friends over, watch these fights, man.
Oh yeah.
Your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. JJ is the best women's fighter of all time. And the only person that I want to see her fight against is Rose. Stipe and Cain Velasquez is the fight to make it heavyweight. Frankie Edgar is sitting in limbo. I love prelims. And I give Damian Maia the edge in the title fight against Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley. Oh my gosh. I know. We'll get there someday, Ian. But those are my final thoughts. One more thing. Tonight, check it out. Bellator live from London. It's going to be a great card.
Yeah. It is, man. It is. Somebody's, it's funny how somebody got put on that card and they said they couldn't fight and they dodged me and they got put on that card. So,
damn.
We'll see how he does tonight.
Yes.
See how it does tonight.
Yes. We'll see. You guys watch the card. We'll see if you can figure out who it is. All right, Ian. We ran way over today, but that's okay because that's MMA. Sometimes fights go into overtime.
Which means all 3 rounds, you know. I don't like fighting overtime.
Hey, there's some organizations in the world where if you go to a draw, you fight sudden victory. That's what I'm saying.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Exactly.
I mean, that's in the Tough House also. They have the 2 rounds, and which I think is pretty cool. What if they actually have that in MMA?
They should. They do in some organizations, and it creates definitive results.
I like definitive results, man.
Yes, sir.
I like definitive results.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We look forward to seeing your comments, feedback. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends. We're still growing, but we're going to get there.
That's it.
All right. Peace out, peeps.
Deuces.